So you guys know Steve, the producer. He just launched a YouTube channel. I must say, I watched the video. Really informative stuff about how to break down a script. So you take a script and then you color code stuff like wardrobe and props, and you kind of categorize things and have everything organized. So on the day of shooting, you have like a list of exactly everything you need. Even though we've worked together so many times, I never knew you actually did that. I was like, I'm learning stuff. If you guys are filmmakers, I suggest you check it out. But what was up with that lighting? There's a light that went. So first of all, I think we should pimp out your lighting setup. And the thing with video lights is that they're expensive specifically because they're video lights. Anything that is specifically made for video is gonna be more expensive because it's more specialized. That's why we're here at the Home Depot. Are the lights in there any good for video? I have no idea, but let's go find out. So let's go. Just add a sound effect to make it sound like I actually did it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here, wow. What we need for video use is something that can project the light into one direction. Most of these lights right now are designed to light up an entire room. There's a few things we want to look out for when we're looking for video lights. One main thing is the color of the light. So this is more daylight colored, useful to make a place look really bright or try to match it with some light coming in from the outside. And this is much warmer color. With your filming space, I'm thinking a warm look would look kind of cool, huh? This is 2700 Kelvin, so that's actually very, very warm. They even have the CRI, 90 plus CRI. That's basically a method to see how accurate your light is. So you want it to be very high, and 90 plus is actually pretty good. Like video lights, they're like over 97 or 98, but we're at Home Depot. That's cool that they actually list off that CRI, yeah.
That's new, they didn't used to do that.
Yeah. You can just put a bulb in here and just project this forward. Another thing I'm not sure about is also some lights flicker. We can't really see it with our eyes, but cameras can sometimes pick it up. So that's something that doesn't really say so much on these lights, but we'll see. Maybe we'll just grab a couple and just see what works. Wait, you can adjust the color temperature on work lights now? What? It doesn't say anything about CRI, but 2700 Kelvin to 5000. So that's actually kind of cool that Ryobi is making lights that are flexible in color temperature. A little bit on the pricier end, $69, but this can power off a battery, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, let's get that. Well, this light is only 16 bucks, so I feel like we might as well try it. $54 light, which is kind of expensive for a work light, but relative to video lights, that's actually dirt cheap. So the CRI is only 80, so it's not great. It's just a lot of output, but the color accuracy is just not all the way there. This is the kind of light I used to buy when I was starting out. I'd just come to Home Depot. It's like, yeah, this will work. It was 20 bucks, yeah. The biggest downside of it is that it's old school technology. So this is gonna draw 1,000 watts and actually heat up the room like crazy. So it's probably not gonna be worth it because Steve's gonna be sweating the whole time he's filming. And the color accuracy out of halogen light like this should be pretty decent, but it's just very, very warm. Like the color temperature is more orange on this than the other lights. Yeah, and also if you put stuff in front of it like gels or you try to customize it, it's gonna just like melt all that stuff. What would be kind of cool is if we could get a practical light, like a little lamp that's actually in the frame and also doubles as a light. Christmas lights are great things to just kind of have as ambience. You can put it in the background, and this is only $9.97 just for giggles. Huh? Look at that one, blue one, party it up. I'll try this a little bit, whoops. We're looking pretty hot here. I think the only other things we need is one thing that we could use as a diffuser. So just some sort of fabric or cloth or something that's somewhat transparent that can soften up the light so it's not gonna be as intense. And also something we could use as a bounce. So that could literally be anything that's kind of big and nice and white. Oh my goodness. Look at this big shiny board. I don't know what this is, but this could be a bead board right here.
You know what it actually is? You put these in your garage door when it rolls up, and this is your insulation for sound.
You can see how it's reflecting light onto my face. We can definitely use this stuff. So we can actually get this cheaper by going to like a arts and crafts store and just getting a $1 poster board that's like that big. But right now we're trying to get everything at Home Depot, so this is what we're going with. See, this right here would be perfect diffusion right here, but this would be a very expensive piece of diffusion. It's translucent, so it's gonna soften up the light, but it's still gonna let the light through, so it's gonna just basically take harsh light and kick it out as soft light. That's what we want. Ha! $5 shower curtain. This is our guy. Whiteboard is to reflect light, and we want some black tape so that we can absorb light. I think we're good to go, huh? Go team. That was very lousy. Before we leave, we gotta take a good thumbnail photo. How do we put this? Ah! We got, oh shit! It's It's really hard for me to hold stuff. Let's go look at his crappy set that he made in his house. So the background itself looks pretty solid already. So you already did a good job on the set dress. I think we just have to make some few technical adjustments here. So let's go set up the camera. So how much of a budget do you have for the camera? Oh, that's what? It'd be useful to have a few more dollars, not gonna lie. This is, I wanna get a camera with like good autofocus and decent prime lens or something.
So can't you just get this video sponsored and have them pay for it?
This video is brought to you by Skillshare, an online learning community with thousands and thousands of online courses that you could take at your own schedule. It's not like school where you have to wake up super early. Unless you want to wake up early, you could take it any time of the day and you can take as many courses as you want as long as you have that membership. And it's affordable, less than 10 bucks a month if you get an annual plan. So all that knowledge for less than 10 bucks a month. You might actually be able to get a little bit of Skillshare. No, never mind, you can't. You're too broke for Skillshare even. But actually, if you're one of the first 500 people to sign up with my link in the description, you get a free trial for 2 whole months.
2 months?
Yeah. So 0 risk free trial down in the description. Definitely gonna love it because there's so much content on there on design, art, business, photography, shooting video, lighting, anything you want to learn, it's gonna be on there. What's some courses you're excited about?
Green curry. There's a cooking class on there for green curry, and I think that is what I'm gonna have for dinner.
You're gonna have access to so much information with your account. So thank you again, Skillshare, for sponsoring this episode and making all this possible.
Wow, they do not mess around. Thanks, Skillshare.
No, but seriously, thank you to Skillshare. They provide us with a budget so we can do this kind of stuff. And usually I'll do a giveaway with a lot of the stuff we get for sponsored videos, but this time we're gonna do the giveaway to Steve. So this is the part where you have to act like really happy about it.
This is amazing. I can't believe that a company would just do this.
You should have been an actor. For real though, like Steve actually didn't know that he was getting a camera until just like a few minutes ago. I'm like, yeah, let's go get you your camera. He's like, what camera? So this is actually pretty cool. And finally, he can stop asking you if he could borrow my stuff.
I'm never gonna stop.
In addition to the camera, we're also going to give you this 11 to 22 millimeter lens, which would be perfect for vlogging. It's a nice wide angle so you could actually hold it out and record yourself. But I think what's going to make this set better is this 22 millimeter prime lens. It does not zoom, but it has a fast aperture, so you're going to be able to create a little bit of separation from yourself and the background. Now this is definitely going to be more than enough for the camera. And again, you don't need an awesome camera to get good shots. What's more important is honestly going to be the lighting in here. We're gonna try to control it a little bit more. All right, so this is basically our starting point here. First thing I would do is switch to a prime lens. All right, so we got our f2 22 millimeter prime. Look how tiny that thing is, so cute. Now we're at an f2, so we can drop down our ISO quite a bit. Now since it's a tighter lens, let's back up the camera a hair. We're gonna try to create a little bit of separation from you in the foreground, so when we put a light on Steve, it doesn't fully affect the background. When we put a light on the background, it doesn't really cast too much on Steve. So let's create a little bit of space. So Steve, why don't you slide on forward? Oh yeah, and now that we have an f2, we are getting a little bit blurrier on that background, so that is good. Let's get that logo back on the display, just so it's not this empty black void of nothingness. It is a little bit distracting because it is moving, but kind of trying to plug our production company here, so I guess that actually kind of works. So this one was interesting because it has adjustable color temperatures. That is cool that this little work light is actually capable of going daylight to warm. That's awesome. You can see there's 8 LEDs in there, 4 of them warm. All right, we're definitely seeing some sort of flicker. Oh yeah, see that? So now we're on the low setting, and you could actually see a ton of flicker. And on camera, it just comes up as these horizontal lines. So basically, if we're gonna use this light, we need to keep it on full strength so it's not flickering, which is a little bit unfortunate, but that's the price we pay by trying to go cheap with one of these things instead of a professional video light. For example, one from Aputure. I'm wearing their shirt right now, so I feel like I should represent them. Let's check out a couple of the other lights and see how those look. This is our dimmable 90 plus CRI 120 watt equivalent. Here we go with our lighting fixture. Ah, okay, there we go. Nice and generally warm. Now, because we know that this has a relatively decent CRI, at least opposed to some of the other LEDs. I think we should use this as our key light right here. This light here is 3000 degrees Kelvin, so it's pretty warm. So I'm gonna dial this camera to 3000 degrees. So this itself is actually a pretty bright light, which is good because we are going to diffuse this later. So it is gonna cut out some of this light. All right, so see how harsh this lighting is on Steve's face? That's why we got those shower curtains. This is gonna be the best $5 you've ever spent on lighting gear. All right, so all this harshness on Steve's face, we're gonna bring up this curtain. Oh yeah, so much better, so much softer. What we might do is add a little bit of bounce. So let's see if this helps a little bit. Now, if you look at the dark side of Steve's face, you can see all that gets filled the closer he brings that bounce card in. I think that's too even. I want a little bit of contrast. I want a little bit of that shadow, so pull it back. Right around there, I think is a good amount. I think the lighting on Steve is looking pretty decent. Let's go play with that background a little bit. All right, so here's our bicolor light. And again, what's awesome about it is that it is flexible in terms of how we color it. So we can actually adjust the color to match our mood. So going blue like this makes this place look a little bit more techy, like we're on a spaceship or something. But if we go warm, I say we go warm to match that warm, gentle heart that you see right there. And the reason why we have this light up kind of high is so that the light comes down onto everything and creates a natural looking shadow. Most natural light comes in from above, like our sun or our lamps. Now, the other thing that I would like to do is this light is just kind of a blah light. Let's shape it a little bit, create a little bit more texture. We could do that by making some barn doors. So we cut up the box that this light came in, and we're gonna cover it with black tape. Now here's an issue I've never really run into, is that we only made one opening on those barn doors, but it's making two completely separate slashes. You can see there's one up there and one down there. It's because inside that fixture, the LEDs are spread apart so far that's creating completely separate shadows. So not exactly what we were hoping for, but I think we'll play with it and make it work somehow. So that's an interesting shape right there. It's doing a little bit to highlight that guitar. We still got that reflection on the TV on the top left. So let's try to cut that out so that Jonathan bring in the board. That just basically needs to get in between the TV and the light right there. Good thing we have all these big pieces of foam here. Now let's try to put a little bit of light behind Steve just to bring that part of the background back. Oh my God, so much flicker.
Yeah, I can see it flickering myself.
That sucks. These lights flicker like crazy. Here's how it would look if we were to edit it to remove the flicker, but rather not deal with having to edit out a flicker in every single shot that we shoot here. So now we have our blue tinted light. They actually were selling different colored lights like red, blue, yellow. Do I look like an avatar? We're out of light stands, so we're just gonna plant it on the floor. Not ideal, but we're just kind of doing what we can with what we've got right now. I think the blue's actually kind of working. Looks kind of interesting, but it's a little bit too blue, so I'm thinking we could actually try that one inexpensive light fixture that we got. It has a low CRI, so we don't want to put that on skin tones, but if we're just gonna use it to splash the background with a color, actually might look pretty good. That light's 4000 degrees Kelvin, so it's not necessarily a blue light, but relative to all of these warm lights, and we have the camera set to 3200 degrees Kelvin right now, so it should actually look kind of cool. So let's give that a shot. All right, so we got that light right there facing straight against the wall, and it's actually a bit intense. And with this light, again, we don't have much functionality out of it, so we cannot dial in the strength and brightness of it. So I think what we could do is just get one more of those bounce cards we got, because we got a whole package of them. Let's just bounce that light off that white card just so that it evenly lights up the background. And that's just giving us a little subtle touch of blue to the background and just making it so Steve isn't falling completely into darkness there. Man, this shot's cool. The only thing that's killing me is that little black hole of a TV back there. So before we end that out, I think we should just whip out one of our lights, even though we didn't get it from Home Depot. Kame TV? I'm not sure how you pronounce them, but they just sent these RGB tubes out to us to try out. They're kind of like Quasars, if you're familiar with them, and it's a little bit cheaper. But my downside is that look how many cables there are. So it's kind of a lot to power on each individual light, but once you get them plugged in, it is actually pretty powerful. Here's the LED light itself. It has its own little barn doors there, which is kind of of cool. It's also very lightweight, and we should be able to place this pretty much anywhere without too much trouble. And this kit comes with 4 of them, which is cool, but it's just a lot of cables to manage, opposed to the Quasars, which just plug straight into the wall. This is full RGB spectrum, so you could do a whole lot, and they're pretty bright, so it's pretty cool actually. Ooh, what is that, green? That's kind of cool. Blue, and it's got some interesting lighting settings, and that's actually surprisingly bright. That's actually pretty dang powerful for just one tube. If you stack 4 of these, that's a bright light. I mean, look at that, it's lighting up the whole room. I actually love what that light bar is doing because it's totally filling out that little dead area that used to be there. That one Kame TV LED is probably worth more than all the lights we got from Home Depot combined, but it is pretty cool and it's definitely useful. And they were kind enough to send us a kit of 4 of them, so might as well just throw another one on there. It actually looks kind of interesting. These LED strips are making it completely into a whole different type of shot. Obviously, that was a lot more work than it should have been because we just got everything from Home Depot. But I'm actually happy with the way it turned out. And yes, we did cheat a little bit by using 2 professional tube lights. But even without those tube lights, I thought it was actually looking pretty decent. You could always get fluorescent lights like that from Home Depot. A lot of times they're not going to be RGB. They're not going to be as bright, but as long as you know what you're looking for when you're buying lights, you can get away with something pretty cheap. Go over to his channel and leave him some nice juicy hate comments and just make fun of him. He loves that. Anyways, hopefully some of that information was helpful to you. And yeah, in case you haven't seen my last video, my arm is broken. I'm not gonna replay the clip of my arm getting broken because that last video immediately got demonetized for having graphic elements. But yeah, I did break it while I was filming, so don't watch my last video if you have a weak stomach. But yeah, I ended up needing to get surgery on it, and I just came out of surgery day before yesterday, and luckily everything went perfectly smooth. Here's what my elbow looks like now. I have these plates in there to hold it together, and since those plates and screws are so strong, I actually only have to wear this cast for 2 more weeks, so I'm actually excited about that. I was expecting to have to wear a cast for like 4 to 8 weeks, but yeah, the reason why they're taking this cast off in 2 weeks is because the elbow is something that gets stiff really fast. So the last step is just going to really be cranking my arm to try to get a full range of motion. So that's the goal. Immediately after the surgery, I didn't really have any feelings in my pinky and my ring finger here. It's because to work on that part of the elbow, they actually have to move your nerve. It's what a lot of people call the funny bone, but really it's a nerve. But you know how sometimes you tap it and your arm feels electric? That's because your nerve's pretty exposed right there. So they actually have to take it and relocate it and then work on the elbow and then bring it back down. But they said they could even just permanently relocate that nerve. Crazy stuff that they're talking about. But yeah, with anesthesia, it was literally over before I even knew it had started. And yeah, now I'm on the road to recovery. I'm like wondering what my arm looks like underneath this cast. I know there's a bunch of staples and stitches in there, so be like unwrapping a Christmas gift. Whoa, surprise! Top comment from my last video was, Potato Jet breaks his arm. What do? I should probably go to the hospital or something. That's the thing, I wasn't 100% sure if I needed to go to the hospital at first because I've seen videos of people relocate their arm after they dislocate it. I was like, I wonder if I could just do that too. But now, knowing what I know, so glad I just went straight to that hospital. I'm 34, was thinking about getting a skateboard, but not anymore. Thanks, Gene. Yeah, you can learn from my mistakes, and I would advise against it. I've never seen a high definition fail and perfectly in frame. This one's a first. That's what happens when a cinematographer vlogs and breaks his arm while he's doing it. Potato Jet breaks a bone. Dog with 3 legs. Am I a joke to you? Oh, Lefty, I know how you feel now.